Good evening. Yusoff Rawther was freed today from drug trafficking and imitation weapon charges. Meanwhile, there are calls for him to sue the Home Ministry and police. So what's next for Yusoff? The Saba corruption scandal heats up with charges just around the corner. Azambaki said he will be announcing the charges against individuals soon. UMNO is looking to fill its ministerial slots. While there are talks about a comeback for Khairi Jamaluddin, could Noraini Ahmad be the more likely candidate? Stay tuned for all this and more. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has acquitted Yusoff Rawther, the former research assistant to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, on charges of drug trafficking and possession of 2 imitation pistols. Judge Jamil Hussin ruled today that the prosecution had failed to establish a prima facie case on both charges. According to Bernama, the judge said that the prosecution failed to prove that Yusoff had knowledge, custody, and control of the drugs and fake pistols. There, Jamil said that the accused is acquitted and discharged of the charges without being called to enter his defense. Yusoff had been accused of trafficking 305 grams of cannabis in a vehicle in front of the Kuala Lumpur Police Contingent Headquarters, Surau, at 10:15 a.m. on September 6, 2024. The charge was framed under Section 39B(1)(a) of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. He was also charged with possession of 2 fake firearms near a condominium on Jalan Bukit Kiara at 9:25 a.m. on the same day. The charge under Section 36(1) of the Arms Act 1960 provides a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison or a fine not exceeding 5,000 ringgit or both. In his ruling, among others, the judge reportedly said that there was no evidence from the prosecution witnesses that Yusoff had exclusive control over the car and had custody or control over the pistols and drugs. Meanwhile, Yusoff's lawyer Rafique Rashid Ali told Malaysiakini that Yusoff is open to taking legal action against the police and Home Ministry following his acquittal. When contacted by Malaysiakini, Rafique said that all options are on the table. He said this in response to calls from past Information Chief Ahmad Fadhli Shaari and other opposition leaders for Yusoff to take legal action. Earlier, Fadhli had recommended legal action to reveal who allegedly gave the order to plant cannabis and the fake firearms. In a post on Facebook, he said it's not logical that the cannabis came down from the sky. Wherever it came from, there must be a hand that placed it. The Pasir Mas MP claimed that of course there is a party that issued the order and told him to sue. During the court proceedings today, Yusoff had defended himself by saying that the cannabis and fake firearms were planted to frame him. At nearly 100, Dr. Mahathir still drawing a crowd and cracking jokes. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad stole some of the spotlight at the Russia National Day celebration in KL, where guests lined up to greet him and snap a photo. The event was hosted by Russian Ambassador N.M. Latipov. Mahathir and his wife, Dr. Siti Hasma, were among the guests of honor invited by the Russian ambassador. Asked why people still flocked to events to meet him, Mahathir cheekily stated he was still popular despite not running the government. He joked that even though he is no longer in power, people still want to take photos. Meanwhile, Latipov's speech focused on strengthening ties. He praised Malaysia as a reliable and valued partner, saying both nations uphold the principles of international law, sovereignty, and non-interference in internal affairs. He added that Malaysia and Russia coordinate effectively at global platforms like the United Nations. Latipov also said that bilateral ties have gained fresh momentum following 2 recent visits to Russia by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and his discussions with President Vladimir Putin. He pointed out that cooperation now covers everything from trade, investment and energy to tourism, education and cultural and humanitarian exchange. At least 2 people will be charged soon in connection with the ongoing Saba corruption scandal. This is according to MECC Chief Commissioner Azambaki. Azam reportedly said that he will announce the charging of the individuals in the case in a very short time. According to the Star, he also hinted at the possibility of further prosecutions against other individuals. This comes after mounting public pressure on authorities to take action over the scandal. Back on June 6, Azam said MECC had wrapped up its probe into a video allegedly implicating a Saba Islami person. The findings were submitted to the Attorney General's chambers for review 2 weeks earlier. The case involves 10 video clips submitted to the MACC on March 11th, which allegedly implicated Sabah Chief Minister Haji Noor and several state assembly persons. The clips came from a 36-year-old businessman named Albert, who had also submitted nearly 300 pages of supporting material. That includes witness names, WhatsApp conversations, call logs, and documents. Previously, Hajiji had denied the claims and accused the whistleblower of colluding with parties seeking to destabilize his administration. Albert, meanwhile, faces counter-allegations of attempting to monopolize the state's mining sector through fraudulent means. Speculation is swirling over who UMNO might tap to fill its ministerial quota after Tengku Zafrul quit the party in order to join PKR. While the public's buzzing about a Khairi Jamaluddin comeback, insiders say Noor Aini Ahmad is the more likely pick. A political operator close to UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's office, who declined to be named, said this is based on seniority in the party. As Wanita UMNO chief, she holds deputy president status, which is equal to UMNO deputy president Muhammad Hassan and above UMNO's vice presidents. Noor Aini is also currently Deputy Minister for Women, Family and Community Development. Promoting her to a full minister could boost morale in Wanita UMNO, a core part of the party's rural base, now grappling with declining support. Party sources said she might make a return as Higher Education Minister, a post she held from 2020 to 2022 under the Muhyiddin Yassin and Ismail Sabri Yaakob administrations. Noor Aini declined to comment when contacted. As for Khairi, the same sources said that the chances of his name being proposed as a minister seem slim. Khairi, a former UMNO youth chief, was among a number of members sacked by the party in January 2023 for supposedly breaching party discipline during the 15th general election. One insider said Khairi isn't in UMNO Supreme Council, a basic requirement to even be considered. Khairi had previously dismissed any imminent return to cabinet, saying he is not thinking of rejoining politics at least until the year end. Besides Noor Aini and Khairi, one source also threw another name in the mix, Rizal American Naina American. The source said he could be a strong pick to replace Zafrul at the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry. The source also pointed out that Rizal has the experience as he has been heading Matrade, a government agency under Zafrul's ministry. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysiakini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Is the US-China trade war finally cooling off? A new US-China trade deal is reportedly ready to go, according to US President Donald Trump, but it still needs a presidential green light. Trump made the announcement on his social media platform, Truth Social. He said the deal is done, but waiting for the final sign-off from both presidents. Under the deal, the US would impose 55% tariffs, while China would get 10%. Trump claimed China would also supply full magnets and any needed rare earths up front. And in return, he said the US would honor its side of the deal, including letting Chinese students study at American universities, which he says he's always supported. He also claimed the US-China relationship is in great shape. The deal comes following meetings in London between US and Chinese officials earlier this week. Back in April, the US began to implement huge tariffs on China. But in May, US and China agreed to a broad rollback of punitive tariffs for the initial 90 days. Kedah Menteri Besar Sanusi Mat Noor has denied rumors that past President Abdul Hadi Awang plans to resign, stressing that both the party and the Muslim world still need him. Sanusi blamed those who feel threatened by Hadi for spreading the rumor, while Kedah PAS pointed fingers at Pakatan Harapan. Yesterday, we asked our viewers if they thought Hadi should continue leading PAS despite his age and health. This was their response. 16% of around 3,400 people that voted agreed that he should continue leading the party. Voters said that he has experience and his views were still needed. Meanwhile, 72% said that it was time for new faces and fresh ideas. Among the comments on the matter was that the party should prepare to face the next general election, and it would be better if he was appointed as an advisor and they have someone younger lead the party. One voter even suggested that Tun Ibrahim Tuan Man lead the party. Another 8% of those that voted didn't see age as a factor and said that it depends on his capability. What are your thoughts? Share them in the comment section below. Next, let's take a look at some of the other headlines from today. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.